All right, we're a little late, but that's okay. Um, I was at fitness class. That's why. So, yeah, let's turn everything on. So, I was not here this afternoon, well, the morning session, because I was getting my car fixed. And then, well, I was gonna stay at the dealership, not the dealership, what? I was gonna stay at the repair place until they were done, but then they said, oh, it's gonna take 4 hours. And I was like, nope, not sitting around, wandering around the street for 4 hours is crazy. I was thinking, okay, if it's 2 hours, maybe, but four, no. No, 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 no. So, so yeah, that's what happened. So I came home, took a lift, came home, and it took almost exactly 4 hours, exactly what they said. But now the car is fixed. Anyways, when I did come back, I could have um hold on 1 second. Let's turn that off. Um I didn't have Wi-Fi. Yeah, so when the internet was down for quite some time, and so because of that, yeah, I couldn't I couldn't like get on the computer anyways. Like sure, I could have opened up a hotspot, but who has time for that? Anyways, so yeah, I did not stream. So we're gonna actually retrospectively, since it's within the same day, the numbers shouldn't be that much different. Exactly. So we would have started at 10 o'clock. So we would have started back here, um, which was right there. Okay. So starting at 10, there were zero trades. We're gonna go all the way up until here's the first trade at 11:32 was bad. The next trade at 11:53 was bad. Oh wait, yeah, 11:53 was also bad, and that trade completed at 12:11. So we would have taken, if we were here, we would have taken two trades. They both would have been bad. Both would have been losing trades. So I'm gonna have to go punch those numbers in exactly. Um, yeah, so it's a good thing the internet was down and I had a prior engagement. But yeah, we're just gonna punch in the numbers. Oh wait, 1 second. I still have to watch this. Okay. Yeah, so it was very choppy right in here. And let's see what it was actually doing over here to get a better feel. Whoa, that looks like a mess. So this was around 10. So this is when we came in. So we had jumped down, and then at 10 we kind of settled into some sort of movement, but it was sideways up movement. And it was steadily going up, but sideways at the same time. And those trades happened at around noon. So right around between here and like here, no, here and here. Yeah, so it was literally this. I think that's what that is. Anyways, so yeah, two losses back to back. So let's go. Let's go here. Let's change all of this. So even though we weren't here, we can still mark the trades as okay. So we have two. I said two. Okay, that's all glitchy. Two trades. Was I supposed? Oh, I think I'm supposed to say two trades between this time, but I already have the time right here. Okay, two trades, two. I'll say zero wins and two losses. Okay, zero win, 800. Whoa, loss. There, that is the final number. Okay, you see, so we had a 600 win and 800 loss, so we're down negative 200 on. Let's go here. Oh, there we go. See, isn't that funny how yesterday we had 3 wins back to back and then 2 losses completely cancels that out. I need to work on my negative RR because I don't like that, but that's what we have right now. 2 and 0. 0%. That's a sad number. Anyways, 60%. Negative 200. Okay. All right, so that is it for that. So we're gonna go here. This is our evening trading. Okay. Yeah, and if you look at it, there was actually more. So there were multiple. So there was 1, 2, 3, 4 losses in a row. 4. That's insane. That's crazy. 4 losses in a row. This one looks like it came close, but not quite. Anyways, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4 losses back to back. We have 2 losses back to back here. We have 3 wins back to back. But when you have 4 losses, you'd have to make double in wins just to break even. See, but then you had win, 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 win. It's when you get into these after a long move and then you have just chop and chop and chop. Okay, so let's talk about where we're at. So, I hate to do this, but as you can see, um, hopefully, we are approximately 1 trade away from passing this combine. You see, when I started trading this about a month ago, actually it was over a month ago, there was no stress. There was no hassle. It was just, you got in and traded, and if it worked, it worked. If it didn't, it didn't. And I didn't really, there were times where I didn't even look at the number. Like, I didn't even know what the number was. I was just trading, and then I was like, oh, yeah, numbers. But now that it's down to the wire, it's down to one more trade. Now it's like, oh, goodness. I don't know. It's like there isn't more at stake because, yes, okay, if I lose once, then I'll have to win 3 times instead of 1 time, right? So it's not the end of the world. I know it's not the end of the world, but for some reason, it's like when I have to think about the number, all of a sudden it makes this all more stressful. So I'm trying not to think about oh, you only have one more trade. It's stressing me out. Anyways, but I know I just need to get in. If there's a trade, there's a trade. If there isn't, there isn't. It seems like we're getting decent movement today, this evening at least. Like we're in a good setup for there to be a trade. Sometimes like last night there was nothing. Um, but tonight possibly. Is it gonna be good? No one knows. Okay. Verse of the day. Am I behind? Crap, I missed the day. Did I miss yesterday? Did I do a verse of the day yesterday? I thought I did. Okay. 1 Corinthians 13, verse 6 says, it does not rejoice at wrongdoing, but rejoices in the truth. Let me actually, oh yes. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. What does that mean to me? Okay, this is kind of story time, sort of, but not really. Um, what this verse means to me is talking about love rejoicing with truth and does not delight in evil. You know, when you have those people that say they love you, possibly, and yet they seem to celebrate or be happy when you fail at something. It's like they're silently hoping that you crash and burn. That's not love. And I've had my fair share experience of that kind of toxicity, we'll call it. Oh yeah. But I think, you know the people who truly care about you by how they celebrate with you. Um, because if someone loves you, one, they're not gonna want bad for you, and that's one thing I always don't like is when people, especially, it always comes back to my 600 pound life, when people on my 600 pound life, their family members will be like, oh, I love them so much, I just want them to be happy, and then they're literally feeding them food that's killing them. I don't get that. It's like, how can you say you love someone and then not do everything you can to help them in a good way, not help them destroy themselves? And then you have um then you have people who maybe this is a little bit me. Sometimes when I am caught up in my own problems or caught up in my own sadness about why my life's not going the way I want it to, it's hard to celebrate with other people. It's hard to celebrate their wins. And it's like, why is this person winning and I feel like I'm just, you know, struggling every single day? And it's hard. Sometimes it's hard to watch other people win while you're still trying to figure everything out. But but I don't know. I feel like right now I got all the right people in my corner. I don't know. But also, because it is November and it is 11/11, because that is the best number ever, um, we will be doing our thankful, saying what we're thankful for. Honestly, I'm thankful. Basic stuff, getting the car fixed. Um, it was kind of stressful, know, knowing that that had to be done. But now that it is, it's just okay. One thing off my plate. And I'm also thankful for my fitness class. It was horrible. I felt sick afterwards, but it also felt good. Um, I'm also thankful for having a partner, an accountability partner. Yesterday, um, yesterday, me and my fiance were on a health journey, sort of. I mean, yeah, I'm just trying to eat better. And so, we had a cave-in moment where we had some Popeyes and it was good for a second, but then it was like I could feel my arteries clogging up. I don't know, kind of dramatic, but it did, it didn't feel, it was like, okay, it's okay. But I honestly, I made some fish today with some vegetable stuff, and I enjoyed that far more than I enjoyed Popeyes. Like, I don't really enjoy fast food like I used to. And it's not because it's like, oh, shame. It's literally, I don't feel good after eating. And it's not like a mental thing, it's like a physical thing. Like, my body feels heavier, tireder, more tired. Just, it doesn't, you don't feel great. Your body wants whole foods and fresh foods. It doesn't want garbage. It doesn't want the garbage that we put in it. And so yeah, held each other accountable. We're like, well, we're not doing that again, not getting Popeyes again. So yeah, it's like there was a time where I could have Popeyes and all this. I could eat fast food every single day, and now I don't know. It's like he's on a health journey and he's losing weight, and I don't know what I weigh, but I'm mostly just trying to eat healthy because I'm already at a healthy weight. So I'm just trying to, eat clean, eat actual food instead of processed, hyper processed garbage. And it's good. Like it really is. Although I do need to go to the store because I actually don't have um any more food. Yeah, there's that. Um, okay, so the shutdown hasn't officially ended. I keep hearing every time I tell somebody I'm furloughed, they're always like, "Oh, isn't the shutdown over?" I'm like, "No, it's not over." I would know. No, the shutdown is not over. The news outlets keep saying, "Oh, it's nearing and passing a vote to near the end," but it's Zazio. He's scratching. Anyways, yeah, it's nearing the end, but it's not the end. So that is the distinction that must remain clear. It's closer, but it's not. So until they pass the bill and it's over, not going back. So that's okay. Um, because like I said, eh, everybody keeps asking me if I'm okay, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm fine. It's sad because I was saving my vacation for the trip we're going on over Thanksgiving, but yeah, I don't know. Okay, guys, this is weird. So I ordered a package um because why? Yeah, so I'm gonna be doing Lyft driving, right? So I ordered just a couple of things for the car, specifically four things. I got like a light, like the little Lyft sign, so that it goes in there so I can notify that I'm a Lyft driver. Also, I put like a little seat cushion thing for the back, um, so that it's more comfortable back there. Also, that'll be nice for when we travel and Zazio can sit on that because the back seats by themselves are not super comfortable. So I have that for the back seat. And then I have an iPad. The iPad's going to be kind of like a little screen back there. So I got like a little cheap little holder, like attachment thing. Um, yeah, actually really ingeniously designed, but besides the point. So I got that. And then I got some ambient lighting because I have like zero lighting in that car. Um so yeah, got a couple of things just to make it more comfortable, more appealing, etc. Well, I ordered that stuff on, I don't know, Sunday. And then they said, "Oh, it's going to be here." Yeah, I ordered it on Sunday, I think. And then it's supposed to be here Monday. And then I said delayed in transit at 12 p.m., delayed in transit at 3 p.m., delayed in transit at 8 p.m. And then no updates today. Like, what's with that? Zero updates. And it said, "Oh, now arriving." See, it says now arriving today, like today, Tuesday, but there was zero updates, not out for delivery, just shipped. I don't know what that means. Anyways, so I wait for that because yeah, it's yeah, and it was not like it was like a cheap. I mean, if it was just like a couple dollars, I'd be like, eh. And if it wasn't for a specific purpose, like Lyft driving, I would be like, yeah, whatever. But it is for a specific purpose, and yeah. So I'm like, why, why do we need 7-in-1 cigarette lighters? Now I'm on Amazon for no good reason. Okay, so one second, I'll be back because we're gonna have to do our real talk session. I don't see anything. I mean, yes, I see things happening. I don't know that I'm going to specifically trade. I kind of I have to if there's a setup. I mean, I don't have to, but if I don't, and then the setup goes well, and then I missed it, and I'm that one trade away, I'm gonna be pretty sad. We'll see what it's looking like, you know? We'll see how I feel in the moment. If I'm freaking out, then it's a no. It's a no go for me. Oh, speaking of, just gonna look at this. Yeah, my it looks like my very first trade was a loss of $300. It was a loss. The next one was a win, the next one was a loss. Then I have a series of wins, then a break even, and then a couple of wins. I mean that's it's not terrible. It's not horrible. Um, yeah, it isn't terrible. That's pretty consistent. I mean, this is over a month. Not typically I'll go in max contracts all in and sure I could have passed doing that a couple of times maybe, but it's not sustainable. It's not sustainable. Okay, I'm gonna go make like some popcorn or something. Maybe grab some dried cranberries for like a little snack to just get a little bit of energy after that workout because I haven't eaten since 2 or whatever, and it's like almost 8, which is fine, but like, yeah. I will let this go and we will reconvene. Oh, yeah, and no music today because the computer is already struggling. Every day it's struggling. All right, so I'm back. Well, sort of. I'm gonna hop away for a second, but I was just reading Matthew 12, and a couple things stood out to me. I highlighted these verses. I didn't know what to do. Didn't really feel like talking, so I just read the Bible. I wish the Bible app had the ability to like place bookmarks, and then you can like go to your bookmarks and then just start back where you left off instead of having to go find it. Anyways, so Matthew 12 verse 25 says, knowing their thoughts, he said to them, because this was after um he he healed someone, and the Pharisees, as per usual, were mad. And they said, "Oh, you're casting out demons by Beelzebub, who's the prince of demons." So they're basically saying, "Oh, you're only casting out demons because you are one yourself," basically. And then this is where verse 25 comes in, and it says, knowing their thoughts, he said to them, he being Jesus, said to them, every kingdom divided against itself is laid waste, and no city or house divided against itself will stand. I always thought Abraham Lincoln said this, but Jesus said it first, and it's so true. House divided against itself, a kingdom, etc., will not stand. And even a person, if you're divided but choosing between good and evil, right and wrong, it's going to be pretty shaky. You're going to be on pretty shaky ground if you're constantly going back and forth between this and that and everything else. Go trying to feed the flesh while also serve, the spirit. It's not going to go very well. Um and I feel like the more I focus on just one, the spirit, the 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 easier life is when constantly having I'm constantly having thoughts and not thoughts, but like when I'm constantly being bombarded from one side, and I'm trying to, hold on to this while also holding on to that, my attention's divided, my focus is divided, my priorities, and then I go nowhere, or I go down, I and that's something that I've been working on over the last few months, because yeah, um I've been at a crossroads of sorts when it comes to just life and choices and all of that. So, goodness. So there was that one, and then the other one I highlighted was verse 34, and this is about being a tree is known by its fruit. So starting at verse 33, it says, either make the tree good and its fruit good, or make the tree bad and its fruit bad, for the tree is known by its fruit. And then verse 34, you brood of vipers, how can you speak good when you are evil? For out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. And this is so true. I remember my parents quoting this verse religiously, literally. They would say, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. And it's so true. Whatever's in your heart eventually comes out. It does. It does. And people can, try to hide their true intentions, or hide their fruit, or trick people into thinking that their fruit is good. But the reality is, or to trick people into thinking that they're a good tree, right? But the reality is, when the fruit comes in, all will be known. When the harvest or the season is right, all will be known. And when, um, what was I saying? Yeah, and when, um, and it's the same thing about what I just said, out of the abundance of the heart. If your heart is filled with evil and malice, or maybe not just a blanket statement of evil, but let's say jealousy, right? If you're filled with jealousy in your heart, then you could try as you might to put on a brave face, but at the end of the day, you're going to slip up and that's going to come out of your mouth. Whatever words you say, your actions, whatever. If you're filled with anger or resentment, or you're filled with pride, right? A prideful person because they're always talking about themselves and their achievements, etc., etc. Yeah. Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. You're prideful? Everyone's going to know it because of how much you talk about yourself. If you're filled with patience, kindness, love, peace, that's going to show because of someone who's patient isn't yelling in traffic and cursing people out and flipping people off. You're not. Somebody who is kind isn't, intentionally doing things to hurt other people. Someone who has mercy in their heart and compassion isn't tracking down all the people that owe them money and they're like, you better pay up or else, If you're generous, then you're not penny pinching and you're not penny pinching and, someone needs something and you're like, yeah, well, good luck with that. And then you run away and you clutch your money close. Um, yeah, if you're, um, eh, fill in the blank. But, but yeah, it's like whatever's in your heart and in your person, that's what's going to show. It is, and it always is. And so, um, yeah, um, I just highlighted that because I thought it's a good reminder to kind of check yourself and see what is actually coming out of your mouth. What are your actions? What are they? Because in all realness, right? If you and take an honest, and I mean honest look at yourself and your actions and your words, is it reflecting what's good inside or what's bad inside? And nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect, right? You can't, I can't look at myself and say, oh, I'm doing everything right, because that would just not be true. Um, but, but for example, I don't know, I used to like swear a lot, but I haven't, not in quite some time. I mean, it used to like, not that I never do, but it used to be just a normal part of everyday conversation. Like it was just like, oh, now it's like I I haven't been swearing a lot because I think a lot of just music. I would listen to a lot of garbage music and all of these things, and it was normalized in my brain, but I don't anymore. And so now it's just like, oh, um, okay, this is not okay, and it isn't. And so, you know, are you cursing? Are you swearing? Um, all of those things. People, you'll be known by your fruit, because you can say I'm kind, and then you're turn around and then you yell at the person making your burger because they added cheese and you didn't want cheese on it. That's not kind. Or you could say, oh, yeah, I have, patience, that fruit of the spirit. I have patience. And yet you're throwing a temper tantrum because, your package was delayed. My package was delayed. Okay. You can say that, you could say that you love someone and you support them, but then when they're winning, that you turn around and you become angry with them. Yeah. So yeah, this reminds me to look at my own words and actions, and do they line up with good things, or do they line up with not so good things? Are they the fruit of something good, or the fruit of something not good? Because there's only, yes, can there be gray areas? Sure. But as a general rule, there is good and then there is bad. And your fruit is going to either be good or bad, and it represents what's in your life. So if like, for example, if I have a bad encounter with somebody or something, I need to evaluate, where's that coming from? What in my life do I need to address that um yeah, what in my life do I need to address that is related to this thing? Um, so, for example, I don't know. I don't even know. Now, let's relate it back to trading since we're almost done. We literally have 40 seconds left now. Okay, so how does that relate to trading? Let's go back to the first one. A house divided against itself, or a city, whatever, kingdom, all of that will not stand. So, yeah, and that's true. When you're trading and your attention is split, for example, your focus is on this little guy, your focus is on these numbers. Guess what? Not gonna go so well. If you're split in how you want to trade, for example, your strategy, let's say you're split with your strategy. You don't know what your strategy is going to be, and you're bouncing around. And one day you're like, I'm going to do this. And the next day you're like, I'm going to do. Guess what? Not going to stand. It isn't. It's not going to work. House divided against itself. Your strategy divided against itself. All of that will not stand. That was so close to being an entry. It was a few ticks away. Anyways, but that's a wrap because there are no more. It's 8:30. A whole hour passed and nothing happened. Except for at the very end, but it was already too late. Of course it was. Anyways, and then let's go back to the other one where it says, for out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. How does that relate to trading? I don't know. Maybe not the mouth speaks part, but whatever's in your heart is what's going to show in trading. If you are completely impatient, that's going to show. You're going to be doing FOMO trades. You're going to be getting in at horrible entries just because you don't want to miss out on what could be a great move. If you don't have trust, and that's trust in the system that you've developed, and then trust in faith in that God's got you no matter what happens, then it's gonna show up in things like not taking trades, being too scared to enter, exiting too soon, over leveraging, under leveraging, not really following your strategy. Whatever is going on in your head and in your heart is gonna show in how you trade. It's gonna show. Um, you I don't know. There's a bunch of sirens behind me, and now Zazie was barking at the sirens. But anyways, um, and then even pride, right? If you have pride in your heart, guess what? That may show in, and this was me earlier in the year. This was me. You have pride. You go and every time you have a win, you go and you post it on YouTube. See how many likes you can get. Pride. Um, or what about when you have greed? That shows up in trading. When you have greed in your heart, that shows up in trading. Again, over leveraging, overstaying how long you should be in the trades. Yeah, staying too long in trades, adding when you're losing, adding to losing trades, moving your stop losses, moving your take profits, all of that, greed, 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 greed. So, yeah, whatever's in your heart and you know, whatever's in your heart and whatever is that tree is made of, guess what? That's the fruit that you're going to show. And it shows a lot in trading, and it shows in a very obvious, tangible way. Sometimes it's hard for people to see, to really step back and see, what fruit am I putting out? Like, oh, was I rude to somebody today? Or, oh, was I not generous? Or, oh, was I not caring? Or, oh, did I not listen? Or, maybe I this, that, whatever. But in trading, it's very obvious, right? Like, oh, there was a trade and I could have gotten in, but then I hesitated and hovered over the button, and then I was too scared to get in. Well, there you have fear is in your heart. You have doubt, probably. You have anxiety. You have a lack of trust in knowing that God has it under control no matter what, no matter what. And so, yeah, all of those things, all of those things. Um, so what was I saying? Yeah. So whatever is in your heart, it's gonna show. It's gonna show on the charts. So I'm gonna I need to remember that because I feel like it's not even just about trading, it's just life, Analyze what you did today. Yeah, analyze what you did today. Did it show good fruit or bad fruit? Um, and also, maybe if you don't know, then pray and ask God to show you what maybe you don't know. Because sometimes it can be hard, you're you and you're like, oh, I'm a pretty nice person. I didn't do anything horribly bad. That's true, but yeah. Anyways, it's 8:35. No trades, and we're just gonna enter everything in our journal. So today is 0. That's 3 days in a row of 0. I don't know how long we can keep doing that. Mm-hmm. 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 It's funny because I said this one was so close to being an entry. It was, but it wasn't. Anyways, that's all for today, folks. I will, I won't pray us out, but I will um, say that I'm gonna try to really, really think about, what fruit I'm putting out there. Anyways, that's all.